Get a V-shaped body with these 4 exercises. We all agree that a V-shaped body is very aesthetic, and we all train to achieve it. So here I'm going to show you 4 key exercises to get it by training your lats, your rhomboids. In other words, the muscles that will give you that V shape and that aesthetic look. I won't waste any more of your time, so let's get right to the exercises. First exercise, the staple of the routine. Single arm dumbbell row for the lats. It's true that, well, I would go for a single arm machine row because it's much more stable, but I don't have one at this gym. So, well, the single arm dumbbell row is also a good option, although I prefer the machine row because it offers more stability. So if you have access to a single arm machine row, you can do that as well. In this exercise, we need to take advantage and go quite heavy, since it's the main exercise in the routine where we need to build strength. And this exercise will give us overall strength in the back and lats. 2 sets. A first heavy top set with fewer reps in the 6 to 8 range, then another back off or secondary set with a higher rep range between 8 to 10 using a lighter weight. Key points for this exercise to add stability. Set the bench flat, place your knee on the bench, your other hand on the bench, grab the dumbbell and mentally focus on bringing the dumbbell toward your pocket like this. Always keeping your elbow as close to your body as possible to properly target the lats. It's also super important not to raise your shoulder up because that will activate your traps and biceps instead. As I said, you need to move the dumbbell back as if you were trying to bring it to your pocket like this. Let's go with the working set, and here you'll be able to see it better. As you can see, elbows always close to the lats, and it's not necessary to use super heavy dumbbells if that means you'll end up cheating, raising your shoulder, and activating your traps and so on. It's true that this is an exercise where you should go heavy, that is, don't use 10 or 12 kilo dumbbells, but always prioritize the movement and technique to properly stimulate the lats, because this is an exercise where it's super easy to cheat and shift the stimulus to other muscle groups. Let's move on to the next one, which is the lat pull down with the classic neutral grip. Why do I use this neutral grip? Well, because by doing this movement of bringing the elbows inward, we're able to keep the elbows closer to the torso. And as I mentioned earlier with the 1-arm row, to really stimulate the lats, the key is to perform this movement with the elbow as close to the torso as possible. And this grip is going to help us do just that. And also, this type of grip, doing the extension like this, will also help us train the major and minor rhomboids, which are located here. They also give the back that width and V shape. So let's go ahead and do some effective sets as well. 3 straight sets, 10 to 12 reps, very close to failure. Key points for this exercise. Set the stoppers so that you're stable throughout the entire movement. That's super important. And then, mentally, try to pull your abs in and tighten them. In other words, make this motion to pull the bar down, or in this case the grip, and better activate the lats. Lowering perpendicularly to the floor to better stimulate the lats. And always stay stable throughout the entire movement using the tips I gave you earlier. It's important here, as you've seen, to keep the grip always perpendicular to the floor without leaning back. Like this, that's a no. And then don't let your shoulder blades hang at the top like this. It's important that you only go up to here, as you've seen, and then lower like this. Don't let yourself hang and then lean back. Don't do that because then you'd be training your upper back and building density there. We're aiming for width and the lats. These exercises are just as important as making sure the total sets in your workout, the intensity, absolutely everything is tailored to you. Because if not, it's not going to do you any good either. That is, not everyone can handle the same training volume. In other words, someone who works in construction or has a very active job can't do the same total sets in a workout as someone who works from home. The person with the active job will have a much better recovery capacity and will probably be able to tolerate more sets and so on. That's why it's super important that in addition to me showing you these exercises that are good for these muscle groups, you have a training plan that's 100% tailored to you by a professional, of course. If you want me to help you, I'll leave it here for you on my website, albertomareque.com. From there, you can tell me more about your situation. It's in the description, so I can help you with a personalized plan, one-on-one contact with me, just like I'm doing with hundreds of people, and help you achieve your physical transformation while enjoying the process, without killing yourself training or doing anything crazy. Next exercise, cable row with a close grip. It's true that using a neutral grip here is also a very good option because it allows us to better align the lats, but a close grip is also great. Why? Because as I mentioned before, we're going to be able to. Thank you. Keep your elbows close to your torso when doing the exercise. Key points for this exercise. Well, first of all, when you do it, you need to keep your torso straight. In other words, don't do this or this because your back doesn't make that movement, and it's very common. And then just like with the one-arm dumbbell row, you need to try to bring your elbows toward your pocket, like this. Completing the full range of motion, up to here and then to here. Also very important, just like with the lat pull down, don't let your shoulders drop at the end. Just come up to here and pull like this. Now we're going to do effective sets. 3 sets as well, or 10 or 11 reps to failure. I completely understand what you are trying to convey to me now. That truly makes a great deal of perfect sense. As you can see, I also hold a little bit at the back with the maximum contraction of the lats to increase the tension a bit. I'm not saying you have to hold it for 3 seconds, but you should reach that contraction in the muscle and control the eccentric phase. Very important. Last exercise to finish off the lats, the cable pullover. I love this one. We're going to do it with a rope, but you can also do it unilaterally with a wrist strap, which is great done that way, or also with a bar. I do it with a rope because my time is a bit more limited. And if I do it unilaterally with a wrist strap, one arm, then the other, it takes me more time. So well, with the rope, it's also very good. Key points for this exercise. You position yourself like this, bend your knees a little, stick your butt out as if you were going to do a deadlift, and bring the rope down here. A very common mistake that a lot of people make is bringing the rope here. But that's really wrong because if you look, there's a lot of elbow flexion. I have it really bent. That means the biceps are going to take a lot of the stimulus. And obviously that's not what we want. We want the back, the lats, to do the work. So you need to position yourself like this and bring the rope down here. Now we're going to do the effective sets to finish off the lats. 2 sets to failure, between 10 and 15 repetitions. And that's it for the video. Start applying this to your back routines right now, and I guarantee you'll see the difference. I'm here working on your coaching plans, and remember, if you want to achieve your physical transformation, working with me one-on-one with a 100% personalized and structured training plan with progressive modifications over time to ensure your improvement, and a nutrition plan with lots of meal options, all tailored to you, your tastes, calories, and the macronutrients you need to reach your goals. I'll leave my website, albertomareque.com, in the description, where you can get in touch and tell me more about your case so I can help you in a personalized way and message you on WhatsApp to get started. So subscribe to the channel because there are more videos coming that will help you a lot. I'll be waiting for you.